Hey, it's BrickTsar, and it's time for, yes, another episode of not Batman, BrickTsar Answer Thingy. And we have a question from Bricklover18. Bricklover18 asks a couple of questions. Number one, how much more Lego do you have in your personal collection than your store? And number two, how often do you have seller's remorse? Like after you sell something and wish that you didn't. Very good questions. All right, so we'll answer that first one first. How much more do you have in your personal collection than in your store? Well, if I go to my Lego store, which is currently closed right now, but you can still place an order. My store. I got to log in first. So anyway, my store has a certain number of pieces. I don't have sets in my store anymore. I think there's one set that's tied in with a luggage collection that I have, but other than that, there are no individual sets. So if I look at my inventory, I have basically about 203,000 items. And that is far less than what's in my personal collection. I don't know how many sets I got, but probably we're looking around 3,000 is what I've estimated before, because I used to have about 1,000 sets in my Lego store, and I have way more sets that are not in my store or were in my store. So I buy a lot of stuff on clearance. That's how I get that, and I usually use what I make from Bricklink to put back into my collection. And then bulk lots I have bought make my pieces impossible to know how many I have, but the store takes up one small section of my basement. The personal collection, the rest of it, which is a lot more. So I would estimate, I don't even know how to estimate it. It's probably 5 times as much, but probably up to 10 times as much is in my personal collection as what is in my store. One day I'll find the answer to that. I don't know. So that's a good question. I have so many vintage sets. I have stuff I'm wanting to show on YouTube. I just haven't got around to it. All the Technic stuff. I got tons of Technic sets I've never built for YouTube. I have all my creator houses. I got more vintage stuff you haven't seen. More old stuff you haven't seen. I got duplicates of sets. I have the city sets we got to rebuild, the modulars we got to rebuild, all the train stuff. I did an entire train month, and now I've done over 100 train reviews, and I still haven't got to all my train stuff. So I got more train stuff to show. And I don't even count the little accessory packs, which maybe some people don't count those as sets, but I got those. So there's just tons of stuff there. I got so many pieces. They Might be Bricks is always getting into the unsorted lots to build his creations, and there's just a ton of stuff there. Even Zarevna is using up some of my stuff. She's wanting trees for her mock that she's making. So anyway, the next question he asked, number 2, is how often do you have seller's remorse? And we actually have a video. It might have been one of these bat videos or something where They Might Be Bricks was with me, and that's where he found out that I had sold the carousel, the grand carousel. And he was really upset that I had sold that. And I do have a little bit of remorse for selling that, because now that we got the mixer, it's like now we're getting to where we can make an amusement park or something like that, and I don't have the carousel anymore, and that would be really hard to get again. I probably couldn't even get it for what I sold it for. I sold it to somebody, I believe they were in South Korea, and if I was to repurchase it, I'd probably have to pay more than what I even sold it for. It was used. But I do have a video of it, so we can go back and watch the video of that. So that one is definitely one I'm sad about. I also sold the Eiffel Tower. I had it when I started YouTube, but before I ever did a review of it, I took it apart and sold it. It was almost brand new condition, and I sold that because I was trying to pay for a non-Lego item that I had bought, the Connect Son of Serpent roller coaster, and that was $600. The Connect Son of Serpent. I sold the Eiffel Tower for like $850. That covered the Son of Serpent, and I had a little bit left over. But now I kind of wish I'd done a review of it. I'm not as attached to that as I was to the carousel. But if you go back in time, I have a lot of seller's remorse. All of the castle stuff I sold. I had all the classic gray castle sets. I was trying to be castle complete. That's where you have every set produced in a particular thing. I'd only in turn of 2000, I was missing about 6 sets from the complete castle line, and at that time it was the yellow castle, a couple of the other sets that were produced there in the late 70s before the gray castle era, and then I was missing the Weetabix castle. And it's funny, and there were a few other promotional castle sets, small ones that I didn't have. But now, after I sold all those on eBay. Starting back in 2000 to about 2004, I sold all of the castle stuff. And now I've reacquired some, but the ones I actually have now are the ones that I didn't have back then. I have the Weetabix castle, I have the yellow castle. It's on the shelf. Can't see it. I got a bunch of junk over there. You can see the tip of it. That's Yellow Castle. And I have some of the other sets from when the Yellow Castle was produced that I didn't have back then, but I don't have any of the Gray Castle. So I missed those Gray Castle sets, and I would love to have done a review of every castle set. But didn't think to do videos of Lego sets back then. I wish I had of. I didn't even save the pictures I took of the sets when I sold them on eBay. And speaking of eBay, I sold a bunch of my 12-volt train stuff and all of my 9-volt train stuff. Almost all of my 9-volt train stuff that I had, and that was I will say a mistake. I was trying to downsize my collection. I was like, okay, I'm going to get down to just a certain amount of sets. So I had sold all the castle, all the pirate, most all of my 9-volt train, all of my 12-volt train stuff, and I was just trying to reduce it down. I was just going to maybe focus on city-related sets, and now, I've actually rebought a lot of the 9-volt stuff. I still have quite a few of the 9-volt sets I want to reacquire that I used to have. So there's a lot of buyer's remorse there, but selling is how I was able to purchase new stuff. So sometimes if I saw something I wanted more, I would sell an old set. But now I'm just trying to sell the pieces, and usually it's just duplicates. I'm trying to keep one of everything, unless it's something I really don't think I'll ever be interested in. I got some sets I'm going to review, and then I'll take them apart, like space skulls and things like that. I'm not going to be keeping those. So yeah, those are really good questions. I have a ton of stuff in my personal collection, way more than what's in my store, and I have a lot of sets that I kind of wish I could take a video of them at least right now, or even have somewhere to display them. So thank you for the question, Bricklover18. Be sure to leave your back question in the description below or in the comments. You can't leave it in the description. That would be stupid. In the comments below, and I will try to answer them in an upcoming bat video. And keep in mind, I can't answer all the questions. I will try to get to as many of them as I can. So anyway, thank you, and I'll catch you in the next bat video or other video that I do. This is a Lego channel. Keep that in mind. Thanks for watching. It's BrickTsar.